Hello everyone and welcome to this brand new YouTube video. Today we are going to be unboxing what is in my opinion the best budget YouTube camera for beginners in 2024. Now there's a story behind me buying this camera. In the beginning of 2024 I decided that I'm going to now seriously do YouTube and I wanted a camera that could do everything for me. So I saved up money, talked to a camera operator friend of mine. He said go for a used second-hand camera. That way you'll get really good cameras for really good prices. So I talked to one of my camera operator friends, one of my master's mates, shout out Rodrigo, who had worked with a company who sells refurbished cameras, and I said that I want this exact camera model. And he's like, guess what? I'm selling this exact camera with the lens that I had wanted. And that is how I found my exact camera at a really good price. And that is this right here. So that is why it is in this bag and not in a camera box, because this is a fantastic second-hand camera. Now in this video I'm going to explain to you why this camera setup is so good for YouTube, why I think it is one of the best beginner setups for YouTube. So without further ado, let us unbox our camera. Here you go. Woo! So this is the Sony ZV-e10. Now look at the size of this camera. This is as big as an iPhone. Like the length of it, it's quite tiny for a camera. Really nice, really handy, really lightweight. Look at how I can just I shouldn't probably do that. Now this camera has a 24.2 megapixel CMOS APS-C sensor, which gives you really good photo and video capabilities, which means it can do 4K video up till 30 FPS and full HD up to 120 FPS, which means you can do a lot of good slow motion stuff with the full HD mode. One of the key aspects of this camera that is really useful for YouTube is its autofocus capabilities. Now this camera has 425 face detection points, which means it has a really successful face autofocus and also an eye detection focus, which will help you stay in focus whether you're doing vlogging, whether you're moving around, and you don't have to worry about going back and check the footage to see if you're in focus. Now if you're a YouTuber who does a lot of unboxing videos, or if you're a business who want to show off their products on video, this camera has a fantastic product showcase mode. Now if you bring a product closer to the lens, it will focus on the product itself and defocus on the background, giving you an amazing shot. Now as I was researching cameras and deciding which to buy, this camera came out on top because of mainly two things. First is its budget. Now you can get a really good camera like this in a really good condition second-hand for under 500 pounds on mpb.com, or you can get a new one at around under 700 pounds for sure. And the second reason is that it's compatible with Sony E-mount lenses. Now if you think about YouTube cameras or vlogging cameras, most of them come with a set lens which you cannot interchange. Now while it has its own pros, it severely cuts down the versatility of the camera and the use that you can get out of it by simply changing the lenses. So those two things are incredibly important and make this camera an amazing budget buy. Now for YouTubers like me who want to make talking head studio based content, the most important thing while recording is being able to see yourself on screen. And with this camera's articulate screen, you can do exactly that. Not only can it open up, it can also swivel, which gives you a lot more potential at recording videos. Whether you're doing reels, whether you're doing YouTube videos, you can do a lot of stuff while recording with this camera. And one more thing that Sony has done, which I really like, is giving it a red rectangle, which shows you quite obviously that you're recording. And it also has a tally light in front of it, which shows that you're rolling. And as someone who definitely forgets recording before he starts speaking his lines, that is amazing. Now last but not the least, this camera has USB-C tethering. Now that is mainly for charging, but with that you can also connect it to your laptop and use it for streaming or as a high-end webcam for any video calls. Now, I've been talking about all of the good things about this camera for quite a while now, but it does have its own downsides. Especially if you're a vlogger wanting to buy this camera, this is for you. So it has two main kind of drawbacks. One is its inbuilt stabilization, which is not something really great. It does provide a lot of shake in the video. If you're capturing videos while you're walking around, it's gonna be quite shaky. It's not gonna be really good as some of the higher end cameras can do. And it's rolling focus, it's one of the biggest problems. For example, if you move the camera around, it tries to stabilize it, which makes a weird wobbly video, which isn't that great. But you can solve these problems by buying a cheap gimbal. Because this camera isn't too heavy, you won't need a high-end gimbal. So if you invest in a gimbal, all of those kind of drawbacks go away. Now let's talk about the lens that we have at hand, which is a Samyang 12mm f2 lens. Now, a wide-angle prime lens like this is going to give you a really good shot indoors, where you're not going to need to keep your camera far away, out of reach. So it's going to give you a good shot, and as it's a prime lens, it's going to give you a really crisp video or like photo. And the second part is the f2 part. Now, I don't really want to tell you about why the f2 is important. I'd rather show you guys. And now here is why I needed the f2. So this is what the f2 lens is for. So basically f2 is the aperture of the lens, and the smaller the aperture number, the shallower the depth of field. What does that mean? So if I keep my hand here, you're gonna see it perfectly in focus with my face. But if I take it all the way back here, you're gonna see it go blur, which is the usual blur background feel that YouTubers have, which everyone likes. So that is what I was going for, and that is what I have achieved with this exact setup. So with that being said, that is all for my best beginner budget camera for YouTube in 2024. If you like this video, please leave a like, subscribe, and send this to a friend who wants to get into content creation but doesn't know which camera to get. With that being said, I'll see you in the next video. See ya!